My name is Ray.
Hi, this is Michael.
Welcome to another episode of Ray's Economics Cookbook. Today we're talking about the purchasing power parity, or PPP.
Yeah.
So to talk about PPP, we need to first know the foundation of it, and that's based off of the law of one price.
Yeah.
Law of one price basically states that theoretically the same good or same basket of goods should be the same price in two countries when adjusted for exchange rates and inflation, of course. Yeah. So basically we're saying that the real exchange rate should theoretically always be 1 between two
Exactly.
nations. Because theoretically, one apple in Mexico is the same as one apple in the U.S. Now, in real life, this is more complicated, not the case. But theoretically, we're assuming that one apple is the same in every country. Is worth the same once adjusted for inflation and exchange rates. However, so let's look at what this means. So we'll look at an equation, right?
For example,
I say $10 a basket. $10 is the cost of a basket in the U.S. and 100 pesos is the cost of a basket in Mexico.
Yep.
Now, theoretically, in the law of one price, this basket is technically the same in both countries. Which implies that $1 equals 10 pesos in this case, because because this basket should be worth the same in both countries. It's just different accordingly because of exchange rates. So this implies that our exchange rate is 10 pesos for a dollar. And so for our absolute purchasing power parity, our exchange rate for that
is 1 for 10.
110. But the nominal exchange rate, however, in real life is 1 for 20.
Yeah. In 2019, right now, yes, $1 is 20 peso. Unfortunately, it's not the law of one price.
So this just goes to show that the real exchange rate in real life is not 1.
Not really 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
The purchasing power parity basically tries to adjust it if the basket is the same or same cost in every country, which then at least inclusion of purchasing power parity (PPP) gives a very general or rough look into perhaps the purchasing power of the currency in each different countries. But it's a very rough look because real exchange rate is not equal to 1. So let's look at PPP. PPP equals the price of a basket in one country versus the price of a basket in another country.
Yeah, that's the first formula, as we already used that, right?
However, to adjust for the fact that real exchange rate is not a 1, we can also equal in the real world nominal exchange rate over real exchange rate. Now, theoretically, the real exchange rate equals 1, as it should be in the theoretical world, then the nominal exchange rate is equal to PPP. But since we just talked about it's not, because we talked about 20 pesos for $1, the real exchange rate is the real exchange rate in the real life, but the PPP is 10 for 1. That means that we need to adjust it for the real exchange rate in real life.
Yeah. So these are two different formulas, but they should have the same result. Okay, as we can see, first formula is pretty simple. It's 10. Okay, so the second formula, nominal divided by real exchange rate. Under the same situation, we can find it's still 2. How come? Because nominal exchange rate is 20, real exchange rate is 2. 20 over 2 is still 10. Let's see.
So real exchange rate equals nominal exchange rate times P1 over P2.
Yeah.
In our last video, we talked about real exchange rate. We talked about how it equals 2 Mexican baskets equal 1 U.S. basket, and we talked about the nominal exchange rate in real life, or the actual nominal exchange rate is 20 pesos for a dollar. So 20 divided by 2 equals our PPP, 10 pesos for a dollar. 10 pesos for a dollar is our theoretical nominal exchange rate if we follow the law of one price.
Yeah. So actually, if you can look at our previous episode, videos, and you can see we just discussed the real exchange rate equals nominal exchange rate times U.S. price divided by foreign price, which equals 2. Okay, we use the same example here. So when the real exchange rate is 2, if we plug that into this formula, nominal is 20 divided by 2, which still get to 10. So either formula is correct. And both formulas should have the same result. Okay.
However, PPP is based off of comparing the same basket of goods between two countries. That's difficult because the cultures of two countries are different usually, which means that the common basket of goods for one country is not the same as basket in another country. So to compare a constant basket of goods between two countries is difficult because they might be valued different in two countries, mainly because they're not the staple goods in one country as they are in another. For instance, let's say one country, maybe Greece, the staple foods are soy milk, oil, olive oil, fish and rice, mainly olive oil and fish in Greece. And for instance, in the U.S., staple foods are milk, butter, beef, and potatoes. For instance. So we have to use, it basically comes down to which staple goods are we using to compare for one constant basket of goods to find PPP.
Yeah, the core issue is sometimes it's very difficult to construct such baskets.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the economic policies are different in two countries. For instance, one country might have different, might have free public transport. Other country might not. One country might subsidize different goods. Other country might not.
Exactly.
Might tax other goods
Exactly.
the same good. Things like that creates very large nominal price differences between two countries that makes constructing, as Michael said, the same basket of goods very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And often there has to be a compromise between which goods are included in the basket, which can make our PPP less reliable, I guess. So for our final clue is PPP in the theoretical world, if we follow the law of one price, basically it's a nominal exchange rate if real exchange rate equals 1, following the law of one price. So there implies that there is no real arbitrage opportunities between two countries because the price for two countries, once adjusted for exchange rates, should be the same.
Yeah, because real exchange rate is 1, right? As we can recall, real exchange rate is more like a barter trade.
Yes.
Okay. 1 US apple equals 1 Mexican apple equals 1 China apple.
As Michael mentioned, barter trade. So basically, you could trade 1 Mexican apple for US apple, even though that in real life, in our world, that is not always the case.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So the PPP is basically our theoretical exchange rate when we follow the law of one price, but the law of one price is not how it really works in many cases. Between countries.
Yeah. So I hope this audio, this video really helps because the key part for the understanding of PPP is a hypothetical exchange rate such that real exchange rate equals 1. Okay, so when you understand, when you think about, look at PPP, putting the power parity, always think about, hey, that means exchange rate.
Yes.
All right. Okay. See you guys next time. Bye bye.